Howdy, Bucko here, coming at you again with another video review, this time of my Lee-Enfield No.1 Mk.III. Give you a little bit of background on how I came to purchase this gun. Me and Dad set up at a gun show, and I always loved the military rifles, the classic military rifles. And I happened to be walking along and I saw this thing here, and I knew immediately that it was a Lee-Enfield. I always known, especially coming up as kids, if you ever played any games or you do any war history like I do, you know, when you see this, most of the time, it's a Lee-Enfield. I saw it, I asked him how much he wanted for it. He wanted $200 for it. And I think I got a steal. I mean, and everybody that I've talked to, this here is a particular version's Australian made. Like I said, Lithgow. Let's see if I can zoom in on this, show you that. Right there. I don't know if it's focused or not. See if I can get it to focus a little bit. I don't think it's going to. But it's 1918. That's what it says. That's what it says right there. Now, the Lee-Enfield, give you a little history on the gun, is the original ones, I believe, were put in the service, and they called the Lee-Metfords. They is pretty much a descendant of the Lee-Enfield. But once they turned to smokeless powder, they found the Lee-Metford was insufficient. It just, the black powder, the Lee-Metford was pretty much, you know, used for black powder. And the smokeless powder rounds would mess up the rifling in them, wear down the rifling awful fast. So they decided to go with Lee-Enfield, and they had a lot of different ones. You know, of course, they have number ones, and you know, No.1 Mark. I believe there's a Mk.II, No.1 Mk.III, and it goes on and on. There's even a No.5, I believe. No.5, and also there's a Lee-Enfield, which is the most popular version, I think, you know, is a No.4, which is one they used in World War II. Now this one here, 1918, I don't, you know, like I said, I don't know where this thing's been. I probably don't want to know, but that puts this gun here in 2014 at 96 years old. So it's reaching close to the century mark, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's an amazing weapon. I used to look at bolt actions, World War I bolt actions as inferior, you know, and all that, and you know, cause I love my Garand and all. This is something else. The Lee-Enfield, it's super accurate. This thing is super accurate. Let me show you a little bit more here. Okay, let me show you a few things about this rifle. First thing I noticed right off the bat about a Lee-Enfield, look at it. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. I mean, wind's blowing a little bit today. Beautiful wood. Me and my dad, especially knowing he's a woodworker, I guessed walnut. He's guessing it's mahogany, which we think might be because of its extreme darkness, or it might be because of the cosmoline and it may have sat in it one time. Either way, this gun is beautiful. That's the first thing I mean that you notice off one right off the bat. Second thing I noticed, I was like, what in the world? Where's the end of the barrel? But looking in, all I'd seen coming up really is the No.4s. As you can see here, it's got, you know, the barrel stops right there at the end of the wood pretty much, and the end cap with the sights and the bayonet lug, which I really want a bayonet, but I've not been able to find one yet. If y'all know any place you can find one, please let me know. But I want to show you what I'm shooting this. This is Privy Partisan 303 British. This particular one, I didn't know it at the time. I meant to get Full Metal Jacket, but I got soft point. But it's 150 grain. That's what I shoot out of this thing. I don't know if you can shoot more than that. But it's great ammunition. It's great ammunition. And this thing here is extremely accurate. And this is from probably about, after I stepped it off, I realized it's probably about 80 yards. And like I said, I don't claim to be no expert rifleman by any means. I mean, the bench rest shooting I do is from the porch. And I did have one, I ain't gonna lie to you, I did have one flyer here, probably because of me more than anything. Here's the first 3 shots, and I just pretty much came up with the paper. I first shot those first 3 and I said, well, I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. And then I shot these next 3, and you see right here, what I always do, everybody else aims for groups and stuff, and for me, that's not a bad group. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm getting better as I do it. But I meant to hit the bullseye. I think I done good in that aspect. But that ain't bad at all. And these things, it's extremely accurate. And this is using the Privy Partisan ammunition. 75 plus yards. After I walked it off, I realized it's probably about 80. A little bit over, maybe. But it's, tell you what, to me, that ain't bad at all. That is not bad at all. And I set it up right at the edge of the woods. It's a little bit dark in there, but that's really, really good to me. Sit that there so it don't fly anywhere. But anyway, what I was getting at about Lee-Enfield though, it's another thing funny about it. I ain't never seen it on any other rifle, and this is the way the Lee-Enfield's designed. And this is why you can rapid fire it like you can, and I'll show that here in a minute when we take it shooting. Let me see if I can work this bolt here. I might have the safety on. I'm not for sure on this. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can work that bolt with one hand. It's a little bit hard to do. And on closing though, when you close it, that's when it locks down. That's when that hammer stays back. Cocks on closing. That's what makes the Lee-Enfield so fast, cause I mean it's just a very, very fast action, extremely fast action, and despite its, oh gosh, it's got a good spring in it. Okay, despite its fast action, it's extremely, extremely accurate. I mean, of course, you know, people that are better shooters than me have took my Enfield and they can just shoot bottles at it from all the way deep in the woods. It's just extremely accurate. You know, if I had to choose one gun to take hunting, and this is just using iron sights, and folks remember I also have an AR, I also have an M1 Garand, and I have an SKS. I take this over any of them, even my Garand. Lee-Enfield, the British was not joking around. They knew what they was doing when they made this. Let's show you the sights here, and it's not loaded, I promise. The sights, it's got a blade rear with a post front, and despite everybody's idea that you need to have aperture sights, a lot of people have that, you know, all aperture sights are the best. You can't beat that. You cannot beat those sights, and it's not like the sights on an AK or a, you know, or Mosin or anything like that. The sights are very, very easy to get. I mean, they're easy to look through. I struggle with some of those blade and post sights, but not with the Enfields. Not with the Enfields at all. Another thing I keep looking at here, I want to show you is this bronze butt plate. What quality! A bronze butt plate. I mean, that is just quality, and it looks so beautiful when you compare it with the wood. Like I said, the Lee-Enfield is such a beautiful gun. And I know the history behind these is that the British, you know, and well, in this aspect, the Australians used this in World War I. This being 1918, you know, I don't know if it made it to World War I or not. It may have. But it's just amazing. It is just really, really amazing that, you know, that the history that these things went through. I mean, I love this gun. And I mean, get off of there, dang bee. I love this gun. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. A lot of people would believe a lot of people believe, well, you know, the Lee-Enfield, going to World War II, everybody says, oh, you know, Americans versus British, Lee-Enfield, man, they only have bolt actions. It's bolt action. It's not it don't play around, guys. It doesn't play around at all. That bolt is quick. And like I said, I will show you here in a minute when we go shooting. And I'll show you how accurate it is. Of course, this is me using, of course. Anybody else probably hit a lot better. But it's a very, very nice designed gun. And like I said, I recommend anybody getting one. You find one, get it. The only thing I got to complain about the Enfield is ammo. Ammo, from my experience, has been hard to find, guys. It's been really hard to find. And when you do find it, I had to order this off the internet. It ended up being, with shipping and all, it ended up being about $100 for 100 rounds. Which, when you compare to 30-06, it's about the same. But, you know, that's pretty high. But, you know, other than that, I ain't got a single complaint with this gun. This gun is amazing. Like I said, I'm going to show you one more look at the barrel and stuff. Now, I've never, you know, I've never took it hunting or anything. But if I start hunting, I can about bet you I'll take this Enfield. I will take this Enfield. It's the most accurate gun I own, bar none. Bar none, guys. But anyway, enough talk. Let's take this thing out and let's go shoot it some. Okay, now we're ready to load it up and shoot. This here is the safety on the Lee-Enfield No.1 Mk.III. I'm not sure about the No.4s and all that, but safety, to even work the bolt to pull it back, you're going to have to at least push this safety forward. Usually it clicks, and now you're ready to load. We'll make sure it's put in a safe direction, just because you never know. I got me load this thing up. Now there is stripper clips, I believe, for it, but I don't have any of those, so I'm just going to load it up by hand here. This is a Privy Partisan 303 soft point. This is the cheapest ammo I've found for a 303. It costed about $100 for about 100 rounds. It's not cheap stuff to shoot, and in fact, 303 is getting really, really hard to find. But let's load it up. About 10 rounds here. I lost count. Another thing you want to do, make sure you keep count of how many rounds you're putting in it. That's all it's going to hold, so that has to be around 10. Okay. Now, we're about ready to fire. Alright. Now we're ready. We got the rounds in there. Now the safety, that's the only thing about the safety I don't like on these Enfields, at least on this one. With it rear, that bolt's not going to go forward. It's not going to move. So you got to have the safety off to push the bolt forward. And we put round the chamber, we're ready to go. Okay, let's shoot some bottles out there. You probably can't see on the video. They're out there pretty far. I'm guessing probably about 60, 65 yards, maybe somewhere around in there, which is long range shooting for me. Let's see if I can hit them. Missed it. Safety glasses have a lot of glare on them. I'm shooting in the morning. Let's try it again. Woohoo! that goes to show you the accuracy of an Enfield. Now, much better rifleman than me probably could hit both of those a lot easier than I could. But I'm not perfect. I'm kind of new to big caliber rifles. That just goes to show you how good this thing is. Out of all the guns I got, like I said, it's the most accurate gun I own. I mean, and I have a Garand. I even have an AR. AR doesn't hold a candle to this 96-year-old Lee-Enfield. I want you to take a quick look at the targets we shot at. Now, of course, the creamer can, it took me about probably about 3-4 shots to hit. But look at the damage. Look at the damage on this thing, and they're filled with water now. I know that will help a little bit, but just look at what it done. Now look what it done to this sun drop bottle. It's just shredded it apart. And in fact, we had to go and pick up trash from across the field. The creamer packet here that was covering it was just strung across the field. I mean, that goes to show you 303 British is no joke whatsoever. But let's get a little bit closer and show you the rapid fire aspect of a Lee-Enfield. Now that we got some cans set up, I got about 5 out there. I think I have about 5 rounds in here. We're going to show you the rapid fire aspect of a Lee-Enfield due to the cock on closing bolt. For a bolt action rifle, you can get a lot of rounds down range with this thing. Let me show you. A lot of firepower for a bolt action rifle, especially coming from the World War I era. Let's go down there and take a look at the targets. Okay, I wanted to show y'all that I did hit them. Of course, I didn't aim for all of them. I got excited. I shot this one here about twice, and I guess the 303 is such a high-powered round, it won't knock the can over. Now, I'm sure if you filled it with water, it would. But you see, I hit that one 2 times, and I hit the Pepsi and the root beer. In fact, this root beer, I believe I hit it 2 times. I think I hit it 2 times as well. Here, I wanted to show you that I didn't miss them. I wanted to show you that I ain't that bad of a shot. But yeah, it just went straight through. But this, this here is one of my favorite guns, and for $200, which is what I purchased this rifle for, you can't beat it. I mean, I took a look at this thing. I said, well, it might be a beat up rifle, but maybe it'll do good. This thing here ain't beat up at all. In fact, this thing here has still got a long time left on it, and it's like I said, it's the most accurate rifle I own, and I recommend a Lee-Enfield to anybody. I mean, even though it has the short, it ain't got the No.4s. It's got the short barrel. I'd still recommend it to everybody. Everybody says all the wood's, the wood's constricting it, inaccuracy. This thing's accurate, man. I tell you. And the 303 cartridge is not something to be played around with. Here's my dad. I'm gonna let him shoot the Lee. I got 2 rounds in it, and I got some cans a little ways down range there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see. Yeah. My dad also has a channel on YouTube for anybody that's interested in woodworking. It's RS Grant Woodworking, and I invite you to go watch his page. He has some cool tips and tricks and all kinds of cool stuff he makes. That's how I made my replica guns. If any of y'all have watched the videos on that, he helped in large parts with that. So Dad, let's take 2 rounds, shoot down at those cans. We've got 2 cans set up. This is the Grant's bench rest right here. Just the old porch rail. Woo-wee. Heck of a job, Dad.
1 out of 2.
That's never bad. Appreciate you watching my video. Please like and subscribe, and if you see a Lee-Enfield, I'd say get it. These are great rifles. I was a little bit skeptical on the bolt action when I first felt this cock on close. I was like, I ain't never felt a bolt action like that. These are great guns, very accurate. I love mine. I don't believe I'd ever sell mine. Thank you for watching. Like I said, please like and subscribe, and have a blessed day.